Many people turn to Cheryl Halston and Joan Mack for their evening news in Charleston during the 70s and 80s. And during my time in the late 90s, obviously we had Vanessa Hill and Carolyn Murray. Now, Tessa Spencer is dominating the anchor desk with Dean Stevens in the evenings on Channel 4. I speak exclusively with Tessa for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and download my free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And listen to this interview tomorrow on iHeartRadio. Tessa Spencer.
Quintin, what's up?
Oh, it's going great. Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you so much. Oh, and I said this the last time. What number are we on now?
I believe 4.
About 4. Is it? You sure it's not 5?
Well, I'm counting back 1, 2, 3. Yeah, one you did with Baby J.
Okay, and then remember,
that solo one you did here on the old set.
We did the one that started on 9/7 when we went from.
Oh, that was the one.
That was the one? We didn't do one before then?
No,
never.
Really? Oh. Never. That was the first one ever.
Okay.
That was 2012 when I first started doing Quintin's Close-Ups.
Okay. I don't know why it seems like you were doing it much longer than that. Okay. But I trust you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Good to see you again.
Well, it's great to see you. Obviously, you have some developing news because you wrote this on your Facebook page just recently. You said this quote, "I've had a distinct honor and pleasure to wake up the Lowcountry since 1999 when I was in Burke High School." Yeah, freshman in high school.
When you were... And how old are you now? But go ahead.
Oh, 35.
Okay.
But obviously, you woke us up with the Breakfast Club with Tessa and Baby J on Z93 Jams. But you said, "I've been blessed to be called Good Morning Charleston home on ABC News 4 for the past 8 years." Yeah. What is the biggest difference between 8 years ago and right now as Tessa Spencer, not the radio personality, but as a television journalist?
As a television journalist for the past 8 years. Well, it's caused me to grow as a person and to learn new skills. Radio and television, similar in some ways, especially when we do live shots, but also very different. It requires thinking from a different brain. You have to, your delivery is entirely different.
Sure.
So it's in the beginning, I would have to say I doubted myself. And I don't know if I've ever said that in one of our other interviews before when I first started here, but there were times when, I would wake up before I would have to come in. It's like, I don't know if I can do this. And that's just being honest. When you've done something for so long, and even though television news was something I wanted to do since I was 5 years old, inspired by my aunt Joan Mack, once I got into it, I was like, okay, wait, this is a totally different animal. It's not so much off the cuff anymore. It's more structured. Yeah. And so having to kind of rein the personality in a little bit and kind of box it in a certain way, that was a challenge for me in the beginning. Yeah. But I think I have grown, and I've always been a news head. I've always loved news ever since I was a child. So it feels good still, even with some of the challenges in the beginning.
What are those challenges in the beginning that you still are struggling with now?
To be honest with you, up until a few days ago, it was getting up early in the morning.
I can't do that either.
Because with radio, the show started at 6. Yeah. I could get away with getting up about 4:30, 4:45 and, making a short commute. Yeah. For TV, having to get up at 1:30 in the morning to be to work at 3. So I was getting up way, earlier. So I would have to say at the point that I am now, it was still being able to get up. Because like I said, I've been doing mornings since 1999. Right. That's a lot. That's 21 years. Yeah. And my body was just saying, hey. And, as God would have it, this opportunity came and I was able to move up and do that. So
what's changed in news? You said that obviously you've been a news buff for so many years, growing up in the business with your legendary aunt and having to like news since the age 5. What's changed?
The way it's delivered. People are getting news from so many different sources. Yeah. You've got it through Twitter. Yes. You've got it through Facebook. Right. You've got it online with the news stations, and you're surrounded by it nonstop. It's always coming across your feed. And with that, and being a journalist, you have to kind of keep up with that. And sometimes we get our news tips from, social media. It's like, hey, we need to look into this. Sure. This is, this just came across. Right. So you have to, we as journalists have to adapt to that and know that now news is not just at, 4:30 in the morning, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 5, 6, 7, and 11. News is really all day. Yeah. And so I'm really always working all day. if that makes sense to you.
Sure.
Because if anything comes up, I'm like, oh, I got to post this online because I want people to know about it. I don't want them finding out, from anyone else or 2, 3, 4 hours after it's already happened. So I would say that's the one big change when it comes to that.
Coming to that.
Yeah.
And obviously your post goes on to say this. After 21 years, and especially the last 8, I won't have to have a 1:30 a.m. alarm set.
Yeah.
I appreciate every single person that has chosen to tune in either via radio, TV, or over the years to allow me to keep you informed and sometimes attain that is. You haven't just as much as part of my morning routine as I have in yours for so many years. I will miss you dearly. The upside is I will now go to sleep and be able to bring you the evening news starting at 5 p.m. on ABC News 4 with Dean Stevens. Please join me starting Monday, January 27th, 2020. We just talked about this just a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
Cheryl Holston.
Yeah.
Joan Mack.
Yeah. Patrice Smith.
Loretta
Mazzone. Yeah.
Carolyn Murray.
Yes.
Obviously Vanessa Hill.
Yes, Vanessa Hill.
And now it's you.
And now me.
Fronting the evening news in your hometown.
Yeah.
You're African American.
Yeah.
You are a trusted leader. Where are you emotionally?
And it hits me out of the blue sometimes. The gravity of it. Because as you know, being an African American woman and our news, we haven't had an African American on air in quite some time here in the evenings. That's just a reality. So I'm like, wow, I'm sort of kind of making a statement, so to speak, or stepping into something that would be almost a semi-historical role, if that. And so I'm learning to accept that and the responsibility I feel that comes with that. And with me, I like to fly under the radar. Yes. I prefer the background. And it's so strange because some people say, well, you're in TV because you want to be in TV. No, this just happens to be my job. Same thing with radio.
Right.
But it just happens to be a very public job. But I'm very humbled by it and I'm approaching it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and also continue to challenge myself to be better, to work on my craft and to continue to whatever the plan is that God has for me to go wherever I'm needed.
You know where I'm going next?
No. I'm afraid. Okay, go ahead. What is it? Where are we going?
Okay, let me ask you a couple of who, what, when, where, how.
Okay.
Where were you when you got the news? And when you got the news, what did you tell yourself?
Okay. Where was I? I was at my desk and an email came through saying, would like to go to lunch. And this was after, I'd had the interview. And I'm thinking, okay, all right. And so there was a process where I didn't hear anything for a very long time.
Wow.
And of course, we had candidates coming in and out and things of that nature. So I'm like, whatever it is, I'm still going to have a job at the end of the day.
Right.
So I got the email and I was just like, okay, so do they normally send you an email if they're going to tell you, or, they want to go to lunch, are they going to tell you that you're not going to get the job? Or if they take you to lunch, that they're going to tell you that you're going to get the job? So I was overthinking it. When it came to that. But yeah, I was at my desk, said, hey, we'd like to meet for lunch, and yeah. So at lunch in Mount Pleasant at Souls. At Souls. So and that was my first time ever going there.
Wow.
And but yeah, that's where I was. And how I felt, one, it was of course, the anxiety of not knowing. But at the same time, already accepting the fact that if it wasn't for me or if it didn't work out that way, that I had to be okay with that. And I fully believe that things happen in a particular timing and in a particular order. I didn't get a chance to do it when it was open, the first time when it came open that way. And I was like, okay, I'll live with that. Hey, I like mornings. I like having the rest of my day. Yeah. But at some point in time, I think anyone wants to be able to grow in other places. And I seized that opportunity because normally I don't. I'm an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert or however it's called. And I don't like to push myself. And I don't know if that's kind of hampered me or held me back over my career because I've had a lot of people say, well, you should have been in a larger market by now. You should have been here by now. You should have been here. Why are you still here? but it just it hadn't resonated with me at any particular time during that moment. So I've just kind of gone where I've been led at whatever particular moment it is. So I don't want to say this is my last act or and this is where I'm going to fade into retirement, in a few years or whatever the case may be. But I'm open to whatever this leads to, whether I'm going to be here for an extended period of time, which I think anyone likes to be in their hometown, things of that nature. But I'm also a roaming soul. I like opportunities. I like new places. I like, new situations. Right. But I think this is the best new situation for me right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you talked with your immediate family. And when I spoke with you for Quintin's Close-Ups a year ago, you said, hey, I talk to my sister all the time.
Yeah.
When you got the news that you became now the evening co-anchor here at Channel 4, what conversation did you have with your sister?
Yeah. Well, the one sister that I would tell, she passed away.
Right. That's
so I'm like, and she's always rooted for me in that regard. And she's always said, don't worry, sis, you're going to get on CNN. And then she said that to me over, years ago.
Yes.
I see you on CNN. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But not having her, for me to be able to call and physically tell her that, or having her to be able to tune in from Charlotte where she lived, or, to look online. And it still hits me, from time to time. And occasionally I'll wear the cross that I gave her when we first found out that she was sick with cancer. I bought her a cross, and I wear that from time to time. And so that's how I put her, close to me, or I might have it in my purse, or, it's somewhere with me on set nearby. But, but I told my sons, and my youngest son, he's like, well, Mom, you already knew that. So they've always been, one of my biggest champions. And of course, my loved one closest, and he's pushed me to, grow in that regard. And so, and I have a very close knit circle. Sure. And my brother, of course, told him, and he was very happy. He was like, yeah. So, yeah.
Now, obviously, mixed emotions. Jesus, I know. Obviously, we just talked about Joan Mack.
Yes.
What was that phone call like?
When I called my Aunt Joan, she was actually on the road. She had just gotten to the D.C., Maryland area, I believe, with her son Chucky. And Chucky, and of course, Chucky and I are first cousins, and Chucky and I are also the same age. So we graduated we went to school together. Yes. So I called her and I said, Aunt Joan. She's like, yeah, baby. I was like, just wanted to call, let you know that I got the evening position. And she was like, wow, congratulations. I knew you would. I'm so proud of you. Right. Now she's like, now get in there and you take this and you make the most of it, and you work hard, and, and grow and learn. And if you feel like, one day that you want to move on, and she's like, go with your heart. And I think, and I spoke with her at one point in time, it's not that she had any regrets that she didn't go to another market. She had opportunities to go to larger markets. But it wasn't for her at that particular time. And I almost feel like I can kind of carry that on where she left off with that. But she's always pushed me to go further and to not limit myself, and so I do take that into consideration. But it gave me great feeling and honor to be able to tell her that I was stepping into a role that she once, held. Not at 4, but she worked at 5 and 2. Right. But she didn't get the opportunity to work here at 4. But to be able to share that with her, it was great.
Great.
Yeah.
What else would you tell the other legends? Obviously, Cheryl Holston, Patrice Smith, Vanessa Hill.
Yes, Vanessa Hill. Yes, and I get to see her, of course, every day on the commercials, on the ads, and everything.
Oh yeah.
For being strong Black women in television. I'm sure all of their experiences may have been different in one way, shape, form, or fashion, but they literally paved the way, and they did a damn good job at it. It's still cemented. I mean, their names are still known wherever you go. People will know. I can mention randomly in a conversation to, my aunt, about my aunt, and I'll say, Joan Mack, and they're like, oh my God, I remember her. From the middle-aged folks to, to their parents, that grew up. I grew up watching Your Honor. Oh my God, that's so amazing. And so they've left their mark. And they've done a good job with it. And I want to be able to carry that on, not to be a household name, but not to lift myself up in any way, but to continue to be an extension of the job that they did in their given roles at their particular television stations. So that's my wish with it. And I want to I want to applaud them and let them know that, and I'm going to get a chance to do that in March, where all of us are going to be together, including Carolyn Murray, Tavia Mitchell, Hilton, my Aunt Joan, Cheryl Alston, Patrice Smith, Loretta Mazan. All of us are going to be honored at an event in March at Mount Moriah. And to have all of us, I'm just picturing, wow, that's going to be a great picture, but to be a part of that, to be among them, it's an honor. I never would have thought in a million years that this would be where I would be at this point in time in my life.
And obviously, you talk about legends. I got to talk to you about Dean Stevens. Now you're co-anchoring with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around here for the past 30 years, I believe.
Since I was in college, and I was talking to him about it. So I think maybe a junior, senior, so the late 80s. Dean was already working here at Channel 4, and I think at the time when I came to know him, of course, he started out in sports. And so I've known about him since then. Still not thinking that one day I would be sitting next to him. Like, he would get out of sports and do the news side of it, to be sitting next to him and doing that. So it's an honor. And I told him when I spoke to him, I said, I'm looking forward to learning all that I can from you. Because I believe that you don't ever stop learning. You're never too good to learn something new, or a different style, or a different way or how to tell a better story. And I think there's no one better to do that next to than Dean Stevens.
How do you tell a story about what's going on here in Charleston these days from someone we all respect, trust, and love?
How do I tell a story?
Yes, ma'am. From the Tessa Spencer who grew up in Charleston, knows Charleston, been out of Charleston,
and then come back and appreciate it more every time I came back to tell the story. I mean, so many things have changed. So many things aren't here anymore. So many things that were part of my childhood, main staples, landmarks, they're all gone. New things are being created. That makes me a little sad sometimes. It's like, where's my Charleston going? Because I take ownership of it. But there are others who are coming in. It's like, okay, we're here now. This is what it's going to be like. But I mean, you have to kind of roll with it, but also don't let them forget. Well, this used to be this, and this was that, and the people used to have this, and this is where they used to go, and we're able to do this. But yeah, I'm going to be that voice. Hey, we're not going to forget. As long as I'm here and I know these streets like the back of my hand, and I've walked them, and I've taken the city bus to school and back, and shopped downtown when Edwards and Woolworths and everything was still on King Street, and
Bluestein's,
Leon's, Hot John's Record Shop, and all of that stuff. So my role is going to be, I think, just not to let people forget the voices that were here and made Charleston what it was, especially during the time, that I grew up in the 70s, on up to present day. So, but I'm always proud. I'm always going to be a Charleston girl and claim it to the day that I die.
Why should people watch you and Dean at 5, 6, 7, and 11?
Okay. Because we're real. We're on. Not saying that no one else is. I can only speak about what I know of myself and what I know of him as being a coworker. What you see is what you get. We want to give you the best reporting, the best storytelling, and also make you feel like you're part of the family and that we're part of yours. We're both parents. He has all boys. I have all boys. That we deal with the same types of issues that you deal with. We get frustrated. You get frustrated. Traffic drives us nuts. Things of that nature. So we're right there in the trenches with you. And when stuff hits the fan and we get, a tragedy or something very serious that comes through, know that we're going to be coming from a genuine and honest story, and we're going to have emotions. I'm a crier. You know, it was always tough, you know, when we went through the Emmanuel 9, you know, that was the Walter Scott issue and all of the things like that. I feel that. I don't, you know, I can't keep it in. I'm human. And that's what we are. Dean and I, we're human. And, and we're going to have fun. In the process. Hey, 2 seasoned folks. We got our gray hairs coming in and whatnot. I told him the other day we're sitting on the set because he wears his glasses, and I, of course, you know, I wear glasses too. I'm nearsighted, farsighted, astigmatism. I got all types of eye issues going on. I'm like, well, I don't want to wear my glasses, and you've got your glasses on. We look like 2 geriatric news anchors sitting on the news desk. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, I can't see without mine. I said, well, I can see without mine. I don't wear contacts, but I can, you know, I can read the prompter. I can, you know, make it through.
Yes.
But, you know, we joke around and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
It's amazing. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 5-year-old self right now?
Easy. And it just came to me. Dreams do come true. Even when you have forgotten about them. Because, you know, I got into radio.
Yes.
When I got into college and stayed in it. They say once you get bitten by that radio bug, you forget, you know, there's no better place to be. You know, the freedom that you get, the fun that you get, the celebrities that you get to, you get to be among, and it's easy, and you get to be yourself. Right. But I had almost forgotten that my dream was I wanted to be a news anchor. So dreams do come true, even though you forget what that dream is.
Yes, indeed. And what should we not forget about you as Tessa Spencer, the news anchor?
That's so amazing. Tessa Spencer, the news anchor. I'm just Tessa. I'm just Tessa Spencer. You know what I mean? I want to be known for someone who was real. Straight, no chaser. Someone who is also still learning how to live her life and have fun. Yeah. You know, it's from working and being a single parent, you know, most times for most of my kids' lives, and that's all I knew. That I was a hard worker. And that I care about people. Genuinely care about people because I feel people's energies. I take on people's energies. Yeah. And sometimes that can be a little heavy most times, you know. Yes. But I just want to be known for, hey, that's Tessa. And she was all right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes, she was cool people. Yes. You know? Something simple. Just as simple as that.
Yeah, I'll take that. We'll take that.
Okay. Hopefully, doggone it, hopefully that's not my eulogy. You know what I'm saying? We're just sitting here, oh my gosh. You know, and it's sad to say you think about things, you know, like that from time to time. How do you want to be remembered, or what do you want people to remember about you? But I just want to be remembered as she's cool people. Yeah. You know, even as a news anchor. Sure. Because news anchors can be cool people.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, and cared about her craft and wanted to make sure she got it right.
The legendary Tessa Spencer.
Legendary.
Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the new position.
Thank you, Quintin.
And welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I wonder what the next one's going to be.
I don't know. Maybe you and Dean together as a joint interview. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. We shall see. Let's see if we can pin him down. Yes. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Oh, anytime. You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah.